Hello, hello. Come in, come in. Ah, crap. Hello, hello. I was going to do something, but I'm not going to worry about it. Hello, hello. Come in, come in. How is everyone this evening? Let me make sure, first of all, that you can hear me. Yes, looks like you can. Well, hello, KS Embroidery. How are you? Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Let me see. I am moving stuff around all over the place. How are you today? How is everyone? Hello, Pamela Hawkins. Hi, hi. How are you? I am trying to pull up my chat so that I can see things better. So, one moment, please, while I get that pulled up. I want to say hello to everyone. It is a new year, Miss Sheila Cushenberry and Keyshawn Scarborough. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. I am hoping that things will go quite smoothly this year. That's the plan anyway, so that's what we're hoping for. Hey, Miss Debbie. Hey, Miss Eartha Lewis. How are you? Rochelle. Well, hello, Rochelle. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. I was working on a few things in the background and came in a couple of minutes late, so hopefully we will get a new thumbnail up after the chat, unfortunately. Hello, 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 hello. Hey, Dorothy Gaston. Hi, Dorothy Gaston. Hashtag Hoop Group, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us here at the Hoop Group. Yes, that's what's up. Mary Stovall. Hello, hello. Miss Joni Thurman, how are you? Ronnie's Raps, hello. So Crafty, thank you very much. And hello to you as well. Ellis Wolf and Miss Social Deb. The first time you've made it. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. How's the book going, by the way? Not a problem. Hello, hello. I want to welcome everyone. First and foremost, I am going to start doing a slight disclaimer at the beginning of the lives and let everyone who is watching know that yes, here in our lives on Sundays, 8 p.m., we do frequently asked questions. We also do questions back and forth. So if you have embroidery related questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. If you are on your phone, you can click live chat and it should pull down and show the chat, and down at the very bottom you should be able to type in and to go back and hit the like button. If you want to like on the video, just click on live chat again. The chat will go away and your thumbs up button will be there for you to smash. So thank you for joining us here live today. If you want to find out more information and listen to just the tips and tricks portion, fast forward please when you're watching this afterwards to about 15-20 minutes, because at the very beginning of my lives it is of the utmost importance to me that I speak to all of my viewers who are joining us here in this channel, because without those viewers I wouldn't have a channel. Okay, so I've gotten a lot of feedback from certain folks that are like, okay, well, we're here and you're doing a lot of talking in the beginning. Yes, that's because I'm saying hello and greeting everyone and letting everyone know that I definitely appreciate them joining us here in the Hoop Group. So if you're just here for tips and tricks and such, then about 8:15, 8:20, we should dive right into it. But meanwhile, everyone else that's in here is going to be made to feel exclusively special. So I want to go back to my list and say hello to Miss Sheila Cushenberry. Hey, love, you finally made it, Mr. Couple. A nod, and then I was off last week. I did take time off last week because I was apparently attempting to remodel in here and it got derailed real quickly. You know, I had one of my longtime customers come in and they had a competition coming up, and she was like, we need all of these shirts, all of these jackets, and a few of these bags done like now. So I had to put that off. So we'll be getting back into the remodeling and I'll just have to do it in between lives. How about that? Sheila Chan, hello, love. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Maria, hello, hello. Thank you very much. Betty L, hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And Nancy Faust from Iowa. It's always a pleasure having you in here in our channel. Elaine Dickerson, hello. welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Latasha says hello to the Baby's Booty family. Hello back to you, my love. Sharon Blake, hello. Barbara Nance, Dorothy Gaston, hello. You're welcome, Dorothy Gaston. Vanessa McCorka, you made it again. Yes, thank you for joining us. I always appreciate it. Art Coffin, well, hello. How are you? Welcome. I haven't seen your name flash in here before, so welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Ethel Smith, hello. Tanya Powell, yes, you're new as well. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. Also, who all is joining us in here? If you have babies, I heard the holidays were good to some people. So if you have babies, the bell is waiting for you. So to all of those other new ones joining us, whenever a person gets a new embroidery machine or a new cutting machine or any type of major equipment that helps them in their embroidery studio or in their business and they're trying to improve on the come up, well, we ring the bell and congratulate them on their babies. And I also ask for the babies' names because a lot of us, like I named my baby. Hopefully you can see her back there, Blessing. And then I have two other babies, a couple of Cricut machines. Now that was too many names, so I didn't name them yet. But we also ring the bell for that type stuff. So just let us know if you have anything new going on here. Patricia, wow, hello, another newbie. Thank you for joining us. Just found you and love your tips and tricks. I'm a new embroidery machine owner. Hashtag fun for you. Why, yes, that is amazing. Thank you for joining us and letting us know that you're here and new. Linda Hamilton, good evening to you as well. Sheila Cushionberry, you finally get you finally get your bell ring. Yes, ma'am, you do. Let me know. Now, of course, the rules are you have to let me know what it is you have specifically, the name and model number, so that we can ring the bell appropriately. So that's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Marianne says hello. Hello to you. Val S says hi from the UK. Well, hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining us from way across the seas. Maria Collins says thank you for making us all feel special with your greeting and smile. Well, you're welcome. I really appreciate it. And I mean, who doesn't want to feel welcome? I don't understand that. I mean, I like to feel welcome wherever I go. So of course I would want to make people feel welcome. You don't have to be here. You know what I'm saying? Everyone is here because they chose to. And so I want to express my gratitude for that. So thank you for being here. Janixa says hello, hello, hello. How are you as well? Tanya Powell, you got a brother 6625 for your birthday. Well, we're going to say congratulations to you. Now, did you pick a name? Let us know, but we're going to ring the bell for you anyway. Yes! Congratulations on your SE 625. That's going to be a lot of fun to work with that machine. We have some cool tutorials coming up for that 4x4 machine, so please keep on the lookout for those. I've already recorded one and I have it uploaded on a project. I kind of want to show y'all what the project is, but I don't right now have the authorization to show you yet. And then on top of that, it's for a design that hasn't been released yet either. So I'm going to hold my horses on that one and just let you know that there will be a not a live, but a tutorial coming up really soon, and it is super cute. I mean, super cute. I will tell you, it's a in the hoop fully lined zipper pouch. I'll tell you that. And I will tell you that I do have a tutorial on a fully lined in the hoop zipper pouch. That's a Crayola crayon pouch, and that was hands down the cutest pouch ever. Not anymore. This one is super cute. Oh my god, I made it. I absolutely love it. It is just the cutest thing ever, and I have fallen in love and want to make so many of them. So I'm really excited for this particular project and really looking forward to you guys being able to see that. So yes, Melissa Smelek says hello to you. Debbie D, hello to you. Fresh Roses Designs, well, hello to you. Thank you very much. Velma Fulton. I'm gonna say Fulton. I hope that's right. Hello everyone. Your new baby too. PE 800. Look at you with your 5x7 self. Woo! Miss Velma, congratulations on your new baby. got a 5x7 in the works, and the project that I have is going to work perfectly for your machine. I have to record the 4x4 one, so I'm looking forward to that one too. Miss Jane Sublet says hello. Sheila Cushenberry, another PE 808 series. Yes! What? Congratulations, Sheila Cushenberry. I am very excited for you guys. This 5x7 crowd is getting bigger and bigger. Wow. So you guys, please keep me updated with your projects. We do have the hoop group. Hashtag hoop group for all of you who are in the hoop group. All right. So hashtag hoop group for those. If you're in there, you're feel free. Please, you're more than welcome to post pictures of your projects when you complete them, to share them with the group. It gives us inspiration to keep us going, because I know sometimes when you so busy working on projects either for other people or for business, you don't get to work on things for yourself. So a lot of times we really like to see those personal projects. So please definitely post those. Christian Dominique, you're new. Hello, new from Louisiana. You have a brother PE 500. Love your channel. Well, is it a new baby? Well, it's new to you and new to our channel. So we're going to ring the bell for Christian Dominique. Congratulations on your PE 500. Nice. We're going to have a lot of fun with your baby too. We got a lot of projects. I'm trying to tell y'all, this is the year for 4x4. That's what we're trying to make it. So definitely let us know if there's something you would like to see. All right. So Patricia, well, if that's the rule, I just got the Janome Skyline S9 and have never embroidered before. Wow, you guys are really raking them in. Congratulations, Patricia, on your Janome Skyline S9. What size is your biggest hoop, my dear? I would love to know. I've never used a Janome embroidery machine before, so that would be cool to find out. Nancy Beasley, hello to you as well. Marilyn Ray, hello. Debbie Hines, hello. Maria's up. Let me scroll back up. I'm about messed up. Maria says, I sent you a few pictures on Google Plus of the few gifts that I've made over the holidays. I have been scrolling through, right? So with Google Plus and with the hoop group, I've been scrolling through the last few days. When I tell you guys, over the last 10 days, it's been haywire here in the studio with trying to get things out for that competition and making sure that we've got the shirts done, the jackets done. I mean, it was like, I took a break prior to the holidays and was like, whoo, all my projects are done. I'm caught up. I can do stuff for myself, get ready for my new videos. That's what I'm gonna focus on, blah, blah. And then I get a text message and I was like, wow. Alrighty, well, back to the grind already. So we brought in a new year with a huge project, and that's what has been going on around here. We finished it out Saturday morning, 2 a.m. and then I delivered it Saturday morning at 9:30. So I'm just getting caught back up, and then not feeling my best tonight. So I don't know if I'm catching what I've been ducking and dodging from my husband and from my dad and all the other folk around me that's been sick, and I've been running. But I haven't been feeling my best today, so I spent most of the day in bed. But at any rate, that's enough about me. I'm not that important. Let's see. Hoop group for everyone. Yes. Art Coffin, you have both a 770 and a new 625. Oh, that's what's up. Wait a minute. Did I ring the bell for you? I think I rang the bell for you, though. No, I didn't ring the bell for you. No, I didn't. Because I didn't see that you had a machine. Cool. Well, Art Coffin, let's ring the bell for your two babies. How about that? You have a PE 770 and a new 625. Congratulations. Woo! That 625 is nice. I have been having my eye on that for a while. So I'm looking at the 625 and the 800. So we'll see. Can't ring the bell for myself. Val S, the hoop group is at thebabiesbooty.com is where it is. And I'm going to put that up on the screen for you now. All you have to do is go there up at the top towards the middle right. There's a link where it says join the hoop group, and you click there and you can sign and log in. And then from there forward, whenever you go to thebabiesbooty.com, you can just click on your picture up at the top or your name, and it'll take you right on into the forum where all of our different separate posting subheadings are. So you can just click there. You're more than welcome to share. We enjoy seeing all of the projects that you guys are bringing to the table, and it's encouraged. Also, there's areas for questions, there's areas for deals. Speaking of which, there is a really big deal out there. All right, a huge deal. Now, you guys know here on this channel we do a lot of videos. We do a lot of videos. I've done several videos and I talk about it a lot for designsbylittleb.com. Okay, designsbylittleb.com. And the reason why is because I've done a lot of her designs. They're easy to do, they're fun, they're super cute, and they come in different sizes. She goes from 4x4 and a lot of designs even larger. Okay, so they're useful designs in the hoop mostly. It's a lot of fun, really simple projects, especially for newbies, right? So designs by littleb.com, and just in case, I do have a link in the description below this video, right? So the thing is, she has so many cute designs, and they're all at ridiculously low prices in my opinion, right? So a lot of her designs are like $3. Okay, well, she has a deal going on a website, and it's super deals, something like that. A ton of designs, including 10 fonts for $19. All right, and it is officially from her. She posted the link herself and confirmed that it is from her. I did put the link in the hoop group. I did put the link to that in the hoop group. So if you're a part of the hoop group, go there under announcements, and there is a link in there for that deal. All right, $19, and you get a ton of her in the hoop designs. Really cute. You're talking about lip balm holders. You're talking about key fob things to go on your keychain, hand sanitizer. I mean, a ton of designs, right? $19. You cannot beat this. Like $400 and something worth of designs for just $19. Okay, so definitely go over there, check that out. I did want to drop that information for you guys before we get into talking about Stabilizer today. We're gonna discuss stabilizers. Christian Dominique, I missed what you said. I apologize. Just So Boutique by Nina, hello, welcome back. You said it's been a long time. Welcome. Debbie Hines, you have the new Epic? Holler. Okay, so we need to ring the bell for your new Epic, Miss Debbie. Congratulations. Ooh, that's a nice machine. Sweet. That's what's up. I mean, you guys are raking in the machines. I'm a little bit jealous. Look at the Debbie D. Talking about a heat press. Debbie D, congratulations on your 15 by 15 heat press. Yes, ma'am. So you're going to be doing t-shirts and vinyl. I'm excited for you. Please make sure you're posting pictures of those. I like to see the vinyl projects too. They're a lot of fun. Miss Social Deb, you have the Janome embroidery machine as well, and it works wonderfully. Well, that's what's up. Because again, I'm not strictly Brother. It's just I happen to have Brother equipment, and I love the Brother brand. But it's also good to find out that there are other reliable brands out there, right? So thank you for letting us know that. Carol Coleman, hello. Maria says, are you ready for us to switch over to the hoop group? I would prefer everyone to be at the hoop group. Only because I do not know when Google is going to put the axe on Google Plus, because that's been well known that it's going to happen. We just don't know when. Okay, so I really don't want you to be posting and putting something pretty important over there, and then all of a sudden, bloop, you log in and it's not there anymore, and we've lost that information. So the hoop group is that's why, one of the reasons why I switched over to the hoop group. The other reason why was because people were seeing some things in their Google feed that wasn't appropriate. They didn't want to see that, and I have no control over that, and that's not acceptable. Okay, so we switched it over to make it safe for everyone. I have young viewers, I know for a fact, and I don't want to expose anybody to that. I mean, heck, I'm old and I don't want to see that trash. So that's why we switched it over. So it is still up. The Google Plus group is still up and active. I just don't know when Google is going to change it. And I was going to turn it off myself, and I still may, but I'm going to give it a little while before I actually do that. Patricia says you think the largest hoop with the Janome is the 9x7. Oh, that's what's up. That's a big size. So you're going to have a lot of fun with yours. Nancy Beasley says baby one is more Y'all, I am tongue-tied today. Probably because I don't feel well. Baby one is your brother's 6-needle machine, your new machine. Well, Nancy Beasley, let's ring the bell for all 6 of your lovely needles. Congratulations on your 6-needle baby. Baby one. Like Air Force One. Baby one. Baby one. Commence sewing. That's going to be cool. We're going to have to program your machine to say that some kind of way. Maria says, I was sick over the holiday. You spent Christmas Eve in the doctor's office with a terrible cough. Man, when I tell y'all it's some trash going around, I'm not hearing it. My husband, my mother-in-law, my dad, and a couple other people right now, it escapes my mind, was dealing with sinus infection-y type symptoms, right? Then on the other hand was cold, cough, sneezing, hacking. I'm like, y'all need to keep y'all's germs to yourselves because I don't want to be sick and can't afford to be sick, right? So I'm not trying to hear it, but I don't know. I'm getting a hold of something and I'm just like, I don't know who I'm going to blame just yet. The grandbabies, the husband, the parent. I don't know what to do. Let me see. Val S., you're welcome. Cindy Bunskowski. I have a new Baby Lock Solaris. Largest hoop size is 10.5 by 16. Enjoying your videos, learning lives. Well, congratulations, Miss Cindy. That's ringing the bell for you. Congratulations. That's awesome. That's a big size hoop, girlfriend. You're going to have a lot of fun with that. I'm jealous. Barbara Raymond says, good evening from Nowlands. Well, good evening, Barbara Raymond. How are you this evening? Latasha says that is an excellent deal. I'm trying to tell y'all that's a really good deal. So definitely go over to either the hoop group. I don't think it's in the description below. I don't think I had a second to put that down, but I will after the live. So yes, definitely check that deal out. It is very much worth it. Let me see. Wow, it's a lot of new people here. Hashtag new if this is your first live. Thank you for joining us. Debbie Hines, you're welcome. Jane Sublet, thumbs up, please. If you have a moment, smash that thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. Nancy Lardy says, you have a new to you FAF Creative 4.0. Well, then we need to ring the bell to your new to you FAF Creative 4.0. Yes, ma'am. There's nothing wrong with new to you. New to you is new, right? Congratulations on your new baby. Don Slim, hello, welcome. Haven't seen your name either. Mrs. either. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Red Gordon says, I'm a novice embroiderer. Your main goal is to learn to do patches and learn to digitize. What do you think about PE Design 10 software? I have not had any experience at all with PE Design 10 software. All right. So the way I started out, and I'm going to try and go over this spiel like really quickly. When I first started doing embroidery, I had the 4x4 machine. I was new to it. I was doing designs that I found online, stitching them out, didn't know much of anything, right? So, and this wasn't that long ago, right? So I was on my head to make a custom design with a picture and a name up under it, and for the life of me could not figure out how to make that happen on the 4x4 machine. So I looked up all kinds of videos and such and just couldn't get an answer. And when I looked at embroidery editing software, my jaw dropped at the prices, right? So I paid not even $300 for my brand new SE625. All right, that's the machine that I purchased back then. And there was, you know, if I'm paying less than $300 but the software is $900, $600, $1,000, you know, I was like, okay, see, this isn't gonna work. You know, I'm gonna have to not do this, and was about to give up. And I typed in inexpensive embroidery software, or either affordable embroidery software. I cannot remember how I typed it, but lo and behold, So What Pro popped up. And I was like, I don't know. Let me try this out. And did the 30-day trial and fell in love. For $65, you just couldn't beat it. It allowed you to edit and change and do and all this other jazz. Well, upon further inspection, they also have Sew Art. All right. Sew Art is also a digitizing program. And as opposed to your extremely expensive options of thousands of dollars for embroidery digitizing, their software is $75. All right. So with that, I jumped on that bandwagon as well. Okay. So now I don't do videos on Sew Art personally. I do joint referral to Clever Dog Designs on YouTube. She does the Sew Art tutorials. Okay. But Sew Art and Sew What Pro I have used. Now Sew What Pro is my only embroidery editing software program that I use. Okay. So once I found something I could afford, which PE Design 10 software, if I'm remembering correctly, when I looked into that, that was like right at $1,000, where I was looking at the dealer. Okay. Couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford it. So I was just like, I'm just not going to have to be able to do it. So I don't have experience with that. Now, I also opted to look into digitizing with Wilcom Hatch, and I digitize with them as well. So digitizing, Wilcom Hatch's digitizing program is $1,200, if I'm not mistaken. So that's another option as well, if you can afford to swing that. If not, then Sew What Pro, the SNS Computing line, is very affordable. And I am an authorized reseller on my website. That's also on thebabiesbooty.com if you would like to. You don't have to purchase from me. It's the same price on their website, snscomputing.com. All right. So I don't have PE design experience. I apologize. But there are several in the hoop group who does have PE design experience. Okay, so definitely check out the hoop group and ask questions. Okay, because there is a plethora of experienced folks over there who are more than willing to share their knowledge, which is why we love the hoop group so much. All right, so check them out and ask them any questions you may have about PE Design 10. Maria said, I did see a few inappropriate things on Google Plus, but I knew it wasn't coming from you. At least it was deleted right away. Yeah, I'm trying to tell y'all this. Yeah, it was sad. It made me sad. And the only reason we went with Google Plus was because there were several. When I started checking into asking different ones about signing up for a group, Facebook wasn't really a viable option for them. They hated Facebook, and I understand. I know several folks that don't like Facebook. So that's why we decided to do Google Plus, because it was away from all of that rigmarole, and we went there. But now we're at our own home. We're at our own home on thebabiesbooty.com. Flying Wise says, I just embroidered my first hat thanks to your fantastic videos. Thanks so much. Well, thank you, Flying Wise. I am glad that you had a good opportunity to check out that video number 1, and great turnout on a hat. If you're a part of the hoop group, post a picture of it. I would love to see your first hat. Definitely. Sheila Cushionberry, you say you feel so sorry for Will's cats this week. I know, right? I was like, oh Lord, he gonna have to mute the whole computer. But he said that Sassy is used to the bell now, so hopefully she's okay. Oh, Val S., thank you for letting us know you were new, and Debbie Hines as well. So Mrs. says, I got a Brother SE600 about a month ago. Okay, well that's new. I just tried the embroidery function. However, I'm really confused about the steps I need to take to create an applique. Do you have any tutorials on this? I do believe there is a couple of applique related videos out there for on my channel. Let me think on that, because right now my mind isn't seeing a video in my recent list because there's so many of them, and if so, I'll let you know. Why is my phone live? I didn't know that, but I will definitely let you know. All right, but applique is very easy. It is so easy, it's crazy. So you will definitely enjoy it once you get a hold to the instructions. Miss Bickham, hello, my love. How are you? Hello, all you wonderful hoopsters, she says. Thankful that we made it to a new year for fantastic embroidery and all our other crafting. I know that's right, girlfriend. We finna craft it up this year. I'm excited. Diana says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you too as well. Welcome to our channel. Val S., you have to go to bed. Oh no. Okay. Have a good evening, dear. Thank you for joining us for the time you were here. Patty O., hello, hello. How are you? Red Gordon, awesome. Thank you, Eve. You're welcome. And we are going on 30 minutes after, so I'm going to go through here. Latasha says, welcome to the Baby's Booty family, newbies. You're in the perfect place to start learning and becoming comfortable with embroidery. Eve is okay. Yes, she is. He said Eve's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just know it's fun. We like to have fun, and that's what we're going to do today. Sherry Bottoms, you did your very first embroidery today. You're a newbie. Well, congratulations. You have joined in on a most just obsessive type of hobby that you possibly can, because it's so much that you can do with embroidery, and you're going to probably be broke. I'm just letting you know that now. Aren't patches and appliques the same thing? No, they are not. They are not. Carol Coleman, Eve, I have finally taken the heat press out of the box, and I was wondering, where do you get your designs from? Are you talking about for vinyl? There are several places you can get designs from. They can be on, well, I have Cricut, so Cricut Design Space has tons of designs for free. Etsy, you can get designs. They're SVG designs. There's also websites solely dedicated to SVG designs. There's golly, what else? There's Embroidery Library, who I refer a lot of you guys to for their awesome designs, especially when they have sales. They are linked up with an SVG site now, so they have an SVG site. If you go to embroiderylibrary.com and scroll down a little bit, somewhere on the page it'll talk about the SVG site. I don't know the name of it, but yes, there's tons of resources out there. So we may have to start looking into some vinyl stuff for here, because Will helped us out the other day, Friday, with some vinyl, but his was pressure vinyl, so the kind with the sticky on the back. Heat press vinyl, we'll be looking into that. Justin and I, we did the video on both types of vinyl live a few weeks ago, so definitely look for that. So you guys, thank you. Hey Will, thank you for joining us this evening. Speaking of Mr. Will and Sassy. So at any rate, let's get into the meat of it all. Stabilizers. Okay, so who in here gets frustrated with the thought of stabilizers, and you're just like, oh my god, I don't even want to talk about stabilizers. What do I do? What do I use? Should I use it? Okay, so the reason why we got into doing the stabilizer discussion this week, the reason why we got into that was because I saw something on Facebook that kind of sort of got my goat a little bit, just a little bit. And y'all know I'm about as easygoing as I can be. I don't let a lot bother me, but this thing kind of irritated me just a little bit. And then I had to back up and say, you know what, Eve, it's all right, because everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Everyone has a right to do their embroidery the way they want to. Okay, so I'm going to start off this whole live discussion for the next 30 minutes to let you know, despite what we go over here tonight, these are not hardcore rules. You absolutely have to do it or else your embroidery is trash. That is not the case. Okay, there are shortcuts that can be taken. There are steps that can be skipped. It's up to you whether you want to take that chance and do it or not. All right, so for someone to say, because one of the things that came up was because someone mentioned, if you wear it, don't tear it. That is a huge thing that I say a lot. All right, the reason why it works, it comes from professionals. I'm not saying this because I just want something to say. It's a professional thing that is known industry wide. Okay, so if you say, if you wear it, meaning a t-shirt, meaning sweatshirts, jackets, pants, something that you're going to wear, or even blankets and towels, something you're going to wear and wash a lot, all right? If you're going to wear it or use it or mess with it a lot, use Cutaway Stabilizer, not Tearaway Stabilizer. So if you wear it, don't tear it. And I heard a lady, I saw a lady, she was saying that she hates hearing that. That's the worst thing ever and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's not the worst thing ever. I mean, really. Seriously, it's not the worst thing you can hear. But she felt the need to say that. The thing is, if you choose to use Tearaway, by all means, use Tearaway. That's how that works. Just because someone comes up with a nifty little rhyme to help other folks do embroidery the way the industry or the professionals suggest doesn't mean that they're wrong. Okay? So, for you newbies out there, when you use or do embroidery on something you're going to wear, technically you should be using Cutaway Stabilizer. Am I saying this because I want to? No, I'm not saying this because I want to. I'm saying this because you have different folks like this one here, Jenny Haskins Stabilizer Quick Reference Guide. Okay? So, when she's talking about, let's see, sweater knit, Cutaway, knit t-shirt, Cutaway, knit t-shirt, Cutaway. I'm not saying this because I want to say this. All right, so we also have, this is a Fabrics 101 Stabilizer and Design Guide. I have linked this on the Hoop group, okay? I have put a link to this on the Hoop group. These are professional people, right? These are folks that know what they're doing and have been doing it for many years. So this is also listed on embroiderylibrary.com. I did link it in the Hoop group. I'm saying that again. Now, this is 9 pages of different fabrics that if you embroidered on these different fabrics, they are suggesting the type stabilizer you should use, the type design that would be good for that type of fabric, and the needle. Now, I will say this. When it's talking about the needle, I would change that. Okay, they're saying the 7511 sharp. Well, I have learned from a needle and thread expert. Okay, they make thread. They make thread. And they have consulted with numerous embroiderers, professional embroiderers in the industry, not folks at home. Not that folks at home are bad folks and can't embroider, but you're talking about rows and rows of heads on embroidery machines and what type needles they use, and they all prefer the 9014 top stitch needle. Why? Because it works and it doesn't cause problems, people. I'm just saying. I'm not saying this because I want to say this. I'm saying it because it works. Okay, so here is a list. That's the only thing I would change. Okay, 9014 top stitch needle. Otherwise, everything else, yes, definitely. The stuff on here is stuff I don't even embroider on. I ain't gonna lie, I don't embroider on burlap yet. I probably will, but it says if you embroider on burlap, use Cutaway. Imagine that. If you do chiffon, water soluble, cloth diapers, Cutaway, corduroy, Cutaway, denim, Cutaway, flannel, Cutaway. Why are we saying Cutaway? Because if you wear it, you don't tear it. I'm just saying. Handkerchiefs, Cutaway, linen, Cutaway, microfiber, Cutaway, moleskin, Cutaway. But Tearaway can be used for a design that's simple and light. All right, so this is what I want to go over with you guys and let you know. Let's talk stabilizer. So number one, here's 2 different handy lists that you can look up. The first one is Jenny Haskins Stabilizer Quick Reference Guide, right? And then the second one is Fabrics 101 Stabilizer and Design Guide, found at embroiderylibrary.com. Okay, so out of all of the different stabilizers out there, you have Cutaway, you have Tearaway, you have specialty type stabilizers, and you have topping stabilizers. Okay, now with the newbies, hello newbies, how are you all? I'm letting you know that it can be quite confusing. okay? Because there are so many different types and weights of stabilizers that it can be extremely confusing. And for me to try and condense all of that into 30 minutes now of live is going to be, we're going to try. All right. And I may extend a little bit longer to get some more questions and information in. And besides that, if you have questions, go ahead and post them. Okay. And hopefully I'll answer them as we're talking. But if you think of something, go ahead and post it. But there are so many. All right. Now, one thing that can help is if you contact, I want to say Gunold is one. Gunold, GUNOLD.com. They are out of Atlanta area, and they sell stabilizers. Also, Madeira Mart. They also do stabilizers, and they actually have a website, easybacking.com, and I'll show you that right there. Let's see, there you go, easybacking.com. All right, and they even have a phone number there you can call, and a fax number you can fax. All right, so they have given me this handy little booklet that gives you different stabilizers that you can see and touch and feel what it feels like. So you have that as an option as well, especially if you're trying to do this for a business. All right, you set up a business account with them, they send you a packet of stuff to help you see what their products are like. And a lot of these other Gnold, I believe, does it as well. Happy Embroidery, Texmac.com, I believe, does it. They do it as well. Because what they want to do is show you what their stabilizers are like so that you'll buy them. You know, Amazon has a lot of stabilizers, and I do buy some of my stabilizer on Amazon, okay? Especially if I have time and I know I'm about out, I'll go ahead and order some and let it come, all right? Now, Easy Tearaway. So these folks, these are Madeira. There's a lightweight Tearaway that's super thin, okay? Then they have a thick tearaway. They have crisp tearaway that's kind of crunchy feeling. They have soft tearaway that's a little bit softer. They have hat stabilizer that's a tearaway. I mean, y'all, it's a lot. Now I'm talking strictly to newbies at this point. It's a lot of stabilizer. Here's your cutaway options. They have black, they have white. They have thin cutaway stabilizers, which I don't particularly care for Madeira's thin cutaway stabilizer because it tears just as easily as tearaway, so I prefer not to use it. I use the cutaway from Amazon, but they also have super thick, hefty cutaway stabilizer, and this one is 3.1 ounces and the thin one is 1.5 ounces. Okay, so that matters too. And this is the thing, your stabilizer is important. Your stabilizer is very important. All right, so I know there are folks out there who will argue me up and down and say you don't have to use stabilizer. You can buy the yard weed cover stuff and put in. Some people have used coffee filters. In the olden days, folk would use paper towels. Yes, okay, so you can use those type of solutions, but when you have things that are made to help you with your stabilizing needs and your options are plentiful, you know, like a roll this big, y'all, look, this is crazy. It's crazy how big. And this one's cool because they have the stuff already perforated for you to help you with those large hoops, right? And then you hoop it on your large hoops. This is for folks with the big industrial type machines. And then they have smaller rolls of stuff like this one here. This is the soft water soft water stabilizer. So this one goes for freestanding lace, stuff like that, where it's good and soft, all right, and it's easy for that type stuff. So you would hoop this when you're doing freestanding lace instead of this type stabilizer. So this is another water stabilizer. So a lot of times they say water soluble stabilizer, WSS. This is what they're talking about. Okay, this is WSS, and you see how thin it is, right? So this is the stabilizer that you would lay on top of. This is topping. You lay this on top of towels or fleece blankets or anything furry with a pile. All right, and you'll see that in my new video that I was hinting at. And this holds down the pile so that when you embroider on top of this, you can tear it away or wet it and it melts away. And it helps hold down that pile to keep your embroidery looking fresh and crisp, and keeps the pile from sticking up in between your embroidery threads. Do you absolutely have to use it? No, you don't. But before you take a chance at not using this type stuff, don't do it on something that you intend to sell. I'm just going to tell you that. Okay, so if you're doing a project for yourself, like one lady, she did a sweatshirt and she embroidered a beautiful picture on a sweatshirt. She was like, I didn't use any cutaway, I used tearaway, and I've been watching this for years and it looks great. Kudos, good for you, ma'am. You took a chance on your own self and it worked out. I'm happy for you. But if you're going to make a project and you're going to sell it, do you really want to take a risk and sell this to a customer, and then the customer comes back later, say 3 years from now, and they're talking trash about your embroidery because they washed it and it bunched up and made it all wrinkly around the stitches? Do you really want to take that chance? And that's where I was like, okay, well, it's up to you. It is entirely up to you if you're going to follow the instructions or not. Okay, so if you want professional results, take the advice of the professionals. I really appreciate that, Miss Beckham. Maria says stabilizer is too expensive to go edit, trial and error. I suggest using the guide that Eve suggests. They are excellent guides. After all, why are we here to get Eve's professional advice? Well, I'm trying to tell you guys, it's my professional advice, but it's somebody else's professional advice. I had to learn too. Okay, I had to learn, and I was determined to make sure that my embroidery was up there so that I could make money off of it. That was my goal, to turn this into a business. Okay, and if you're going to turn it into a business, then you need to be professional about it and not gripe over something that's pretty important. And yes, stabilizer can be expensive. Don't get it twisted. Because this roll of perforated stabilizer, $50 if I'm not mistaken, which isn't too terribly bad, but this roll here was a lot bigger when I first bought it. This one was close to 100. And this is Cutaway Stabilizer, a big roll, and this one isn't perforated. And this one is the Cutaway that is not 1.5 ounces. This one is the next one up, 2 ounce. This is the 2 ounce Cutaway Stabilizer from Madeira. All right. This perforated one, this Cutaway Stabilizer was from Tex-Mex, the one that's perforated, and I bought the biggest roll because I was working on blankets. And then I even have cap. This is Tearaway, crisp Tearaway for hats. I have this as well. So when you're doing hats, you can use Tearaway, all right? And it's good to have a nice, especially if it's a heavy design. Okay, that's the other tip. I'm trying to remember how I was going to say all this, but I kind of went on a rant and got sidetracked. But the weights of your stabilizer are important based on your designs as well, okay? So a lot of times people do a design and they're like, oh, it's off track. I have a border around it and there's a little gap in there and you can see the gap. Okay, well, your stabilizer probably wasn't sufficient. Either your stabilizer wasn't sufficient or some kind of which way your design shifted in the hoop while it was embroidering. Maybe your hoop bumped something or the thread got caught and made the hoop get stuck. Whatever the case may be, check your stabilizer first. Well, actually check around your hoop and make sure it wasn't bumping anything first. That's the easiest thing. But beef up your stabilizer. Okay, so if you're getting stabilizer and you're using the smallest, thinnest cutaway because it was more affordable, and you're using a really heavy embroidery design on it, chances are you're going to experience gapping. Okay, chances are you will. I don't care how tight or perfect you hoop it, you're gonna have issues. So when you're doing a heavy design, you really should opt for a little bit heavier of a stabilizer. They even have sportswear stabilizers that are perfect for jerseys and stretchy materials like cheer uniforms or bicycling uniforms, stuff like that. Um, they even have stabilizers. Try and get to it that has a extra a bit of stabilizing in it. I don't know how well you can see the grid in that. Let me see. Can you see that grid in there? Those extra lines. That helps with stabilizing it as well. That's called Easy Cuts Extra Stable. This is from Madeira. And this is what helps with super heavy designs, but you don't want a really thick stabilizer. You can use this, and that will help. All right. Where did that hat roll stabilizer come from? If I'm not mistaken, I got this one from Tex-Mex. This came from Tex-Mex, not Madeira. But then again, it came from Madeira. It came from Madeira. This is where this one came from. Come from Madeira. That's right. Because I remember picking it up. I can go pick up my stuff from Madeira. I'm bragging. I shouldn't do that. This aqua stabilizer. This is pre-cut squares. For those of you who have the 4x4 machine, oh my God, these 8x8 pre-cut squares will save your life every time. And Amazon has a ton of them. Has a ton of them. So you can get your WSS, which that's what this is, water soluble. You can get this on Amazon. You can get Cutaway in 8x8 squares. You can get Tearaway 8x8 squares. You can get the thicker Tearaway and Cutaway 8x8. So go for those 8x8 squares if you have the 4x4 machine, because we don't use anything bigger unless you get the repositional hoop, and then you'll have to get possibly a roll of something somewhere for that machine. Let me see. I'm going to go up really quick and check and see. Cutaway keeps the stitches from bunching up after multiple washes. It does, Will. You're absolutely correct. The only thing is, like I said, you got some naysayers out there, and she did, and that was the other thing. The design that she had on the shirt was a light design. It was like an outline type red work situation. So it's not so heavy that it'll bunch up right away. And it looked great. It was a sweatshirt. A sweatshirt is thicker, so it's less likely to bunch up, but it doesn't mean that it can't. All right. Again, do you want to take that chance with your customers? Take that chance for yourself and for your stuff. And she didn't say it was for a customer. She said it was for herself. So, there are some folks who chooses not to use the stabilizers. Marilyn Ray, don't have a clue with stabilizers. All I know is if you wear it, don't tear it. Yes, that's a very important one. Patrick Quinlan, hello, how are you? Maria, Embroidery Library, definitely suggests the same thing that you're saying about stabilizers. That's where I get my information from. I don't go to, when I'm trying to learn something and I want to learn to do it right, I go to a professional source and I see what the industry is doing. And the reason why I do that is because I want my stuff to look good. I don't want it to look like I made it in my mom's basement. Okay? Not anything against folks making stuff in their mother's basement. There's nothing against that. But I want it to be professional. I want my stuff to be out there and somebody has it and says, wow, that looks great. Where did you get it? I want one too. All right? And then they come. And that's how you get referral business, people. That's how you get it. Sheila Cushionberry, I've heard a lot of people that use only a stabilizer. Would that be an option for items? Oh, Ollie, would that be an option for items that would be worn? Seems like that would be softer on the skin. Ollie, I have not used it. Again, what I would suggest, and I don't know, of course, I'm sure there's a way to determine what the, contents are and how it was made and compare it with something else and say, oh, that's the exact same thing and I'm going to use that too. Okay, again, you can try it, and if other folks are using it and it's successful for them, you can try it. you, again, that's a risk that you would take to use something not made for embroidery on an embroidery machine. Someone else suggests saran wrap or press and seal. No one's saying you can't use it. We're just saying that's not what that was made for. So you run a risk of causing damage to use something not made for embroidery on your embroidery machine, or not made for sewing on your embroidery machine. Okay, and I'm gonna give you an example. There's a lot of different sprays out there, right? So like this spray here, this is a spray adhesive I use quite frequently in my studio. Okay, and I'm trying to make sure this is the right one, because there is one that says it does not gum your needle. It doesn't look like this is the right one. This looks like the other one. So this is the one I use for my Cricut machine. But there is a can of this. I believe the top is blue, and it says it doesn't gum up your needle. Okay, that's what you want. You don't want something that might gum your needle, because if it gums your needle, then it's going to gum up in your bobbin case. If it gums up in your bobbin case, then your thread is going to get stuck. You're going to have bunching up under your project. Your project is going to turn out looking like trash. You're going to be mad thinking the machine is wrong, or that something else is wrong, something else is causing a problem. And then when you take everything apart and the guy is fixing your machine, and he's like, you got a bunch of sticky stuff in your embroidery machine, and you don't have a choice but to sit there and be like, oh my God. And unfortunately, that happened to me. It happened to me with my multi-needle machine. And when he took it apart and he saw that the sticky stabilizer that I was using was putting sticky residue all throughout my machine, and I did not know it. Okay, so I had to stop using that sticky stabilizer. It's not the one I initially told you guys about from Lee's Creative Sewing and Vacuum, where I would get my sticky stabilizer from. So the sticky stabilizer that I was buying back then was perfect. No issues. Everything was great. It was flawless. $90 for the roll, which I was like, oh my God, no. So after the first couple of rolls, I said there has to be something cheaper out there. I found something cheaper, and that's what was putting the residue in my embroidery machine. Okay, and had me having issues with blessing, and I didn't even have to. I caused that problem. So again, there's a lot of stuff you can use and a lot of stuff you can try. And if you try it and it works, perfect, great. I'm glad it works for you. Continue on, and I wish you the best. I'm not going to suggest that to anyone, and the reason why is because it's not made for embroidery. And sure as the world, somebody will say, well, Eve said I could use it if my machine is broken. And then you be trying to call me talking about I broke your machine. No, ma'am. Eve did not tell you to use that, and I'm not going to tell you to use that in your machine. Okay, if you want to, go ahead. If you want to tell somebody else to do it and they listen, that's between the two of you guys. But I'm only going to refer the professional stuff to you, because I don't want to see you in the same boat I was. All right, that was a sucky feeling. I'm not gonna lie, because he was looking at me like, why is your machine all caked up with this sticky stuff? And I'm like, because he knew I bought the right stabilizer from him that wasn't going to do that. So my machine shouldn't have looked like that. But I could only hang my head because I went the cheap route and didn't want to buy a $90 stabilizer from his shop. And so I learned my lesson. So yeah, that's where I get my stabilizer from, is from him. I don't buy the cheap sticky stabilizer anymore. But at any rate, Patricia says yes, and everyone has different advice. So very difficult to decide besides going for it, trial and error. And I see why she said earlier, Ms. Maria said it's too expensive to go trial and error. It really can be expensive, okay? Especially if you're just doing stuff. But you can do trial and error a couple of times, but a lot of times it is just the easiest thing to do is go with what's suggested. It really is. Now, that's another thing. On this, the one from embroiderylibrary.com, for towels, they suggest Cutaway. Why? Because you wash your towels constantly. Washing towels, your kitchen towels, stuff like that. They suggest Cutaway. Most people don't do, I don't do cutaway on the back of my towels. I use tearaway. Why? Because I want the back of my towels to look good. But that's a risk I'm taking for when I wash my towels and my embroidery bunches up, which it did one time. I had cheap towels and I did a heavy cursive L on my towels, and when you wash them, they looked like trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I was like, oh well, either don't use a heavy design the next time or use the cutaway stabilizer. Okay, so it's entirely up to you how you wish to do things. And there is a lot of advice, but I would suggest try this first, and if you don't like the results, then try. That's a trial you have to take. I'm sorry, but these guys have been doing embroidery for years, so why wouldn't they know what they're doing? Sherry Bottoms, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I am going on and on about Stabilizer. Um, Thank you, Miss Bunny McMillan. I appreciate that. Let's see, Patrick Quinlan. Sounds like that 25-yard roll of tearaway I just bought is going to come in handy. Yeah, it is actually. Tearaway, I keep tearaway cutaway more than anything else. Um, well, and actually, I do more cutaway stuff than I do tearaway. The cutaway comes in handy because I do a lot of blanket embroidery. I do a lot of jacket embroidery. And with my bags, with the bags that I embroider, like this one, I use tearaway on these. So when I embroider on these bags, this is tearaway, and when I put the name, that's tearaway. So because a bag, you're not gonna wash this, so it's gonna stay like it is. It's not gonna have any issues. Even if it gets wet in the rain, it's still not being washed, and it's not gonna bunch up. Whereas the jacket, yes, it's gonna bunch up. It's gonna look terrible if I don't use Cutaway Stabilizer on their jackets, and I refuse to have somebody come back to me and telling me my embroidery is trash. That's not gonna happen. Okay, not if I can help it. Um, Tanya Powell says newbie here was going to say confused about stabilizer. It is. It can be. It can be. Red Gordon, I ordered World Widener Tearaway Machine Embroidery Stabilizer backing 100 pre-cut sheets, medium weight, 1.8 ounce, 12 times 10 fits 507 hoops. Is that okay for applique or embroidering on shirts? Tearaway, I would not use for shirts at all. I would not use that for shirts. So if you're going to do shirts, you could use tearaway. I'm sorry, cutaway. Use cutaway for shirts. Now, what I thought about something I was going to ask you too, it depends on the type of shirt. Okay? You're still going to use cutaway, but the weight is what I'm concerned with, and the design that you're going to use. And you're saying applique. All right? And applique is heavy stitching all around the edge of the applique. So there's a good possibility if you use tearaway in a bunch. Okay, or curl just like that. When you wash it and you take it out the dryer and it's looking like this instead of nice and flat like it's supposed to be, that's the reason why we use the Cutaway Stabilizer. Okay, so if you're talking about a t-shirt or a polo shirt, sports shirt, you could use 1.8. Wait a minute, hold on, let me look at it real quick before I tell you that. This is 1.65. Okay, you could use 1.8 and that should be fine. All right. But if you're doing sweatshirts, you could do a little bit thicker. Let's see. Yeah, definitely you can do 1.8 because 2.0 is not super thick at all, and you could even do 2.0. All right. Now with t-shirts, however, there is a cutaway that is no show fusible mesh. All right, that is what a lot of people use, and I have some, but I don't have it sitting right here. It should be in here, I would think, but I don't see it. But that mesh stabilizer is good for t-shirts. Excellent for t-shirts, actually. Is this it? This is it. Okay, so this is mesh. Okay, so it's thin, but it's got like crisscrosses on it. And I don't know if this will zoom in. There you go. I don't see. You see how it's like got a texture to it almost. This is excellent for t-shirts, and it's no show. So if you use regular cutaway stabilizer like this on the back of a t-shirt, especially a white t-shirt, or a light colored t-shirt, it's going to show. All right, and if you use it on a black t-shirt, it's not going to show, but you'll see the imprint of the thick stabilizer behind your embroidery. So this is excellent to use, this no-show mesh. And they even have fusible, like this type here. They have one that's fusible and one that's not. This one you can press or iron to the back of the shirt, and it'll stay there as if it's made to the shirt, and you can embroider on it, and it turns out really nice. Now this isn't the cloud cover or the stuff that you like if you embroider on a baby onesie and you want to put the cover over the top of the embroidery. That's different. That's not technically a stabilizer. That's this stuff here, and this is, let me see if I have the, of course I don't, the thingy, the paper for it, but it has glue dots on it, and it's really soft, and you cut it and you iron it to the back of the embroidery, and it just leaves this really soft surface for the baby skin. That's technically not stabilizer, that's just to cover the embroidery, so that's different. But you can use that too in shirts and whatnot. But if you're going to do applique or embroidering on shirts, I would suggest, along with the experts, would suggest Cutaway Stabilizer. Will says, I got the 8x8 from Amazon, but just received and have been using Cutaway Stabilizer from Designs by Little B. Thank you, Will. Designs by Little B has stabilizer as well, and her stabilizer has been getting rave reviews. Had I not been so inundated with stabilizer that I don't need any right now, I would order stabilizer from her. But she does have stabilizer as well, and her shipping is reasonable, so you can go there. Carol Coleman, I have read that sometimes you may need to add extra according to your stitch count also, and that is correct. Okay, so when you are doing a 45,000 count 2-3 hour stitch time design on a shirt, so to speak, either a thicker stabilizer, or you would need to definitely look into crisscrossing some sheets of stabilizer, okay? Because what could happen is shifting on you with a design that dense, okay, with a lot of stitches. You really want to take a look at the stabilizer that you're using, and I want to say the Jenny Haskins one tells you, yeah, there we go. So like she says, fabric type knit t-shirt, sweatshirt, design type says 8,000 stitches or less, then you would use Cutaway fusible stabilizer. If the design is large, overly dense, or poorly digitized, float 1 or 2 layers of Tearaway Magic under the hoop to support the excess stitches. So she's talking about using both, a Tearaway to help support those extra stitches plus the Cutaway on top in the hoop. All right, so there's a lot of different suggestions out there, but ultimately Cutaway is what is suggested for t-shirts and such. And yes, you may have to use extra stabilizer, especially if you're going to embroider, like for instance in my case, I was embroidering on blankets, and I put a picture of it up in the hoop group, and I was using this Cutaway stabilizer on those blankets. All right, and what was happening was I would embroider and it would bunch up, and that's without even washing it. I take it out of the hoop and it's got a little wrinkle to it, and I'm like, what the cuss? Why is my stuff looking like this? It shouldn't be like that. I'm using Cutaway. Well, it's too thin. It was too thin. So when I switched to this stabilizer, which is like 2 of these, it made all the difference in the world. It really did. So I don't have issues out of my blankets now because I switched to this thicker stabilizer. It's still soft, it's still Cutaway, but it's thicker. It's got more density to it to help support the stitches, because it was big. The name was big on the blanket, and it needed more support behind those stitches. All right, Miss Bickham says, don't just chop at the backing when you cut it. Take some care when cutting because the items you're selling represent your standard of work and you should want it to look professional inside and out. Yes. And I'm not gonna lie, I try to be professional when I cut out my stuff. Sometimes I'm in a rush and I don't, but I do try to make sure that it looks good. Maria says, I know you mentioned it before, but who did you purchase your repositional hoop from? I purchased it from Amazon. And I do have a link in my Amazon affiliate store, and that is in the description below. You can click there and go to the store. You'll see all the stabilizers from Amazon that I use. You'll see the repositional hoops there. You'll see the embroidery machines. You'll see needles. All of your embroidery supplies are in the Amazon affiliate store. Patricia says, when learning, you need to test your projects, not selling, just learning from others with experience. Yes, that's correct. Because if you end up doing a person's job, I can tell you from experience, you think, hey, this is what I'm going to use and this is going to work. And you're embroidering on something for a customer and you end up having to replace it because the embroidery ended up looking terrible. That sucks because that's eating into what profits you would have been making because you're having to replace the item. The embroidery didn't turn out as beautiful as it was supposed to. So it is important to try to test first. Okay, it's very important to try. I know that's difficult, but definitely try. Do you have links for the stabilizer guides? I do, though. Well, the one guide. I haven't linked this one because I don't exactly remember where I got this from, but I will do a Google search for it and post it in the hoop group. But the other one, yes, I did link that tonight before I came on, so it is already up in the hoop group. Judy Gilchrist, thank you so much for sharing your tips and tricks with all of us. I learn something new every time I tune in. Thank you. I really appreciate hearing that because sometimes folks can be interesting when they're discussing what they're learning. Will says, I can honestly say, do not use Ziploc bags. I have tried it multiple times and it is horrible. You've heard it from Will. I have never tried Ziploc bags. April says, hey, well, hey, April, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Sheila Cushionberry, I tried sticky stabilizer and my machine hated it. Had nothing but issues when I used it. So yes, it's imperative to get a good quality sticky stabilizer. All right, very imperative to use a good quality sticky stabilizer. And I need to find out from my dealer the name of the sticky stabilizer because I tore the label off and forgot to look at it and it's long gone, but I need to go get more, so when I go back I'll find that out and try and remember to link that in the hoop group. Vanessa, where did you buy that largest roll you just showed? I have the 15 needle and I have to cut 2 pieces and lay vertical and horizontal. Very stable, but lots of leftover pieces. I have a lot of leftover pieces too, Vanessa, and what I generally do is cut it in such a way so that I could use it on my smaller 4x4 or in the little teeny hoop that comes with the 5x7 machine, or on my fast frames. I also use them on my fast frames as well. So keep your extra cutaway pieces because you never know where they could come in handy, especially if you do have fast frames. All right. So the large rolls I got either from Tex Mac, which is the Happy embroidery machine company that sells supplies for the Happy embroidery machines, or Madeira. All right, and I'm pretty sure there's a link below for Madeira because that's where I get my thread from, is Madeira. Jane Sublet said, that's adorable, the devil made. Oh, you have to be careful listening to him. Gail Kingsbury says 505 works good, made for it. Yeah, I do enjoy the 505. I love the 4x4, 404 rather, for my Cricut. This is some amazing stuff. I absolutely love it. Carol Coleman, I cannot tell how many different demonstrations I have went to regarding stabilizers. There's a lot of classes and whatnot. Matter of fact, there's I wanted to mention that too before I forgot. There is the Atlanta Embroidery Mart coming up January 25th through the 26th at the Cobb Galleria Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, there are free classes on Friday and Saturday from 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. It's $20 a person, and that includes both trade show days and all classes on Friday and Saturday. Okay, and then there's also a special workshop they're going to have, getting started in your embroidery business, Thursday from 1 to 5 p.m. and it's $30 if you buy it in advance, and $50 the day of. So that's January 24th is the special workshop, but January 25th and 26th in Atlanta at the Cobb Galleria Center is $20 a ticket. So if you're in or near the Atlanta area, which I'm 4 hours away, you can go, and it's an embroidery trade show. How cool is that? I am looking forward to attending. I'm not sure that I'll be able to attend all day Friday or Saturday. One of those days I have a bling party and I won't be able to attend the whole day, or maybe at all, depending upon what day it is. But I do want to go. So when I confirm the date of the bling party, then I'll be able to make the announcement in the Hoop group what day I'll be able to go. Now, there's also an everything embroidery market show, and that's going to be in Greenville, South Carolina, and that's going to be in February, February 21st and the 22nd. Everything embroidery and vinyl, it says, show, and the ticket, general admission, is $24. General admission is $24. There's also other classes that you can sign up to go to, like a private social event with silhouette vendor, personalizing projects workshop, stitch artist, layering vinyl, tips and tricks for embellishing. I mean, there's a whole ton of other classes for extra costs. Okay, so definitely look into that. There's a whole it's a whole list of classes. Some are $8, some are $24, the extra classes, but the main ticket is $24, and that's February the 21st and the 22nd. All right, so Greenville is not that far from me either, so that one I am making plans to attend as well. And that's Greenville, South Carolina, not North Carolina, because there is one in both states. So Greenville, South Carolina in February, Atlanta in January. I wanted to mention those as well. Let me see, scrolling. Let's see. Mama Mary, well, hello. You use 505 as well. Only buy it with a 50 to 60% off. These were on sale too. Totally understand. Will says, I understand. Okay, no, that wasn't for me. Maria, never use Ziploc bags on your embroidery. You need to press your designs when you finish embroidering to set the thread, and plastic will melt. And I have heard folks saying to press the embroidery to set it. I don't normally. It depends on what I'm embroidering on. But it doesn't hurt either. So, Win Mason, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Mama Mary, was looking at towels that were embroidered from a big box store and they used Tearaway. That is correct. In most instances, when you see embroidery on towels, there is no stabilizer behind it. But the professional over at Embroidery Library, they say use Cutaway. I don't use it. I don't use Cutaway. What is the difference, Flying Wise says, between interfacing and stabilizer? Okay, interfacing is a stabilizer too, but that is used to stabilize the fabric for after you're sewing. Well, not after you're sewing, but you use it while sewing and it keeps the fabric stable. It keeps the fabric, you know, gives it some more structure so that when you're wearing it, like say for instance in collars for men with their turn down collars, there's generally an interfacing in those collars to make them, you know, nice and crisp and stand up, you know, really nice and look good. Okay, so that's what your interfacing is for, or for women's dresses, you know, our collars or our cuffs, you know, stuff like that. That's what that interfacing is for. But that's interfacing. That's not embroidery. The embroidery stabilizer is to support embroidery stitches. That is the whole reason for stabilizer in embroidery. All right. Thank you, Red Gordon. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for the super chat. It is always welcome. And also, if you ever want to contribute to the channel, you can do a super chat, or there's a link in the description below, a PayPal link, and donations are always appreciated. Always. But the interfacing is for sewing. Embroidery is just to support those stitches, not the whole outfit. It's just for your stitches, because your garments, or when they create fabric, it was only made to be fabric. It wasn't made for the structure of embroidery, the extra threads and the needle going in and out and whatnot. That's not what the fabric was made for. So when you're adding that to the fabric, it has to be stabilized. Those stitches need something to keep it straight or keep it flat, just like the fabric. Okay, so the way to keep it flat just like the fabric is to add that stabilizer in the background, just like we do with those turn down collars and just like we do with those cuffs. Okay, so that's what the difference is between the two. Thank you, Carol Coleman. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you, guys. Yay. That's going to help. I really appreciate y'all. Enjoy the super chats. Thank you. Your generosity is never overlooked. Ellis Wolf asks, I use no-show mesh for shirts. A lot of people definitely do, especially t-shirts, because t-shirts are so thin. You need something to go behind it. Rhonda C, how would you stabilize suede? Suede is kind of thick already. All right, so technically, for those who prefer not to have anything behind it, you could use Tearaway Stabilizer with that. But let's see what the guide has to say. I know what I would use. I would use Cutaway, but let's see what the guide has to say. So we are going down the alphabet to the S's. And under suede, do they even have suede? They have velour, sweatshirt, sweater knits, towels. Why they don't have suede? They don't have suede. Velvet. Let's see if they have leather. Not leather, but what do they call that? Corduroy. They say cutaway. I say cutaway, especially if it's something you're gonna wear. But faux leather, cutaway. Faux suede, cutaway in most cases. Tearaway with light designs. All right. So if you're using faux suede, it says cutaway, but if it's a really lightweight design, you can use tearaway. So there you have it for suede. Red roses. Hello, hello. Something about several. Where is it? Okay, Vanessa McCorka. Do you sew leftover pieces of stabilizers together? I cannot tell you the size of my hoops. They only have alphabet for ideas larger than the jacket back. I don't sew leftover pieces of stabilizer together. I don't like the way that looks on the back of the embroidery. So I don't. But there have been instances where I butted two pieces of stabilizer together and it didn't turn out very well. So what I tend to do is try and make sure I have the stabilizer the size of the hoop so that I don't have those issues, to be 100% honest. Only because I'm particular and I don't like the way the two pieces of stabilizer look on the back. Maria says, I had a problem with the OESD polymesh for knits on knit t-shirts. When I stitched my design and noticed some puckering, is it because I didn't use enough? That is very possible that you did not use enough stabilizer. That's where the puckering generally comes from. Is either, okay, either your stabilizer is not enough, or you might have hooped the jersey knits, t-shirt jersey knit too tight, because if you stretch it in any way, it can pucker. Right, so one of those two things was the issue with your puckering, and unfortunately trying to figure out which one it was is crazy. Ellis Wolf, you got the Cricut Maker for Christmas. Her name is Glory. Well, we need to ring the bell for Glory. Glory, the Cricut Maker. Congratulations, my dear, on your new baby, Miss Glory. She's gonna make you tons of money because she can cut through all kind of stuff. Marilyn Ray, I have the same problem as Maria, puckering with no-show mesh. So with no-show mesh, what a lot of folks suggest is you crisscross, okay? So you get one piece out the pack and you lay it this way, and another piece and lay it that way. All right. Me, the way I look at it, I can't tell what's criss and what's cross, you know, but you take two pieces, put them together, and usually that solves the problem, okay, with the puckering. There's also, as I showed you, the extra stable mesh. You could opt for that as well, possibly, but definitely try two pieces, and that should help with those t-shirts. Red Gordon, your answer was very helpful, Eve. One more question. Do I have to have Sew Up Pro in order for me to use Sew Art software? No. They are two totally different programs, and they work independently of each other, with the exception of you can save your digitized designs that you've created in Sew Art and send it to Sew Up Pro for editing, like adding a name to it or whatever the case may be. You can open it and work with it in Sew What Pro, but to create the design, that would be in Sew Art. Ellis, you also just got a Cricut Maker, Mrs. Boyd. Y'all, look, I didn't get none. No, let me hush. Congratulations, Congratulations, Mrs. on your Cricut Maker. We're gonna ring the bell for your Cricut Maker too. Let me see. Lorna put, I got a Silhouette Cameo 3 and a heat press. Congratulations for your babies as well. Wow, everybody got some cool stuff. I'm not jealous at all. Maria says, I like the 505 spray adhesive too. I've never had any trouble with it gumming up your machine. And it says that you can use it with sewing and sewing needles. So yes. Carol Coleman got the 9x9 and the 6x7 Cricut Easy Press. Congratulations on your new babies and your vinyl toys. Congratulations to you too. Bickham says you crisscross anytime you double up. And again, like I said, I can't figure how to crisscross because it looks the same no matter which way I use it. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but it's okay. Marianne Reddick, do you use Melissa Stabilizer from Designs by Little B? I have not yet because I'm not out of stabilizer, but as soon as I run low, I will be switching to use it. I've seen nothing but rave reviews from her stabilizer, so I do wish to try it. And Will uses it. So y'all, Sheila Cuffy, how are you doing? I am fine, Miss Cuffy. How are you? Well, I don't know. I hope I'm fine. I don't feel very well today, but normally I'm okay. Vanessa is talking about you want a larger stabilizer that can fit the hoop without having to double up. Yes. Well, I mean, and that's why I did purchase the larger rolls. I don't think they have those large rolls on Amazon. I don't think, but I haven't looked for them on Amazon either because I knew I could go pick them up down at Madeira. Miss Bickham says that thick stabilizer you just showed look like that huge roll I have that you saw in my studio. I love that thick stuff. I do like it because, again, it kept from bunching up my blankets, man. That thing was irritating to me. So I want to make sure that I don't have bunched up embroidery, puckered embroidery rather. Oh my gosh, y'all have been talking a lot. I didn't know that. Let me see. Okay, let me scroll through. RBK Distributing, you talking about this list? I'm not sure. I want to check and make sure. Maria says you've sewn leftover pieces and haven't had a problem so far. And like I said, it probably could work, but because I'm particular about how stuff looks, I didn't like the way that looked, so I didn't do it. You were using Sulky Sticky Stabilizer, and if you didn't have issues, then that's great. I can't remember what stabilizer I was using, but I got mine from the dealer, and I need to find out what that was. Mrs., I hope you feel better when you watch the replay. Let me see. Patricia, how do you cut your cutaway? Do you try to keep it to a natural shape or cut to the shape of the design? I cut to the shape of the design on the back, me personally. Debbie D says, don't forget to hit that like button, please. Be sure to smash that for me. I greatly appreciate it. It lets YouTube know that you guys like being here, and I appreciate that. Nancy Beasley says, I'll see you in Atlanta. Sweet. Will try to go to Greenville. Awesome. Vanessa says, stick the labels in the middle of the roll. It will always be easy to know with so many rolls around. You ain't ever lied, Miss Vanessa, because I have a ton and can never really remember where I got them from. Ruben says, hi. Well, hey, Ruben. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining our channel. Does the Brother SE600 come with the software for installing on the PC? It does not, because it can work by itself. You don't have to have a computer in order to use the embroidery machine, because it has designs built right into it. So there's no need to have a software program to come with it. But Sew What Pro works really well to help you with adding designs, editing designs, and all that cool stuff. But again, you don't have to have a software program at all. You can purchase embroidery designs from off of Brother's website, download them to your computer, and just transfer them by flash drive or by direct cord USB to your embroidery machine and put your designs on that way as well. You do not have to have a software program. River City Creative, well, hello, welcome. Nice seeing you as always. Red Gordon, thank you again. And Will says, don't forget about the mugs and coasters. Thursday is the last day to order. So thank you, Will, for reminding us of that. And also, I did want to mention that Will has also added for the Carolina Thread Box subscription service. He has also added the subscription service that has no thread, where it's just the design and the materials for the box. So that's an option for you as well if you would like to choose that option. The Cobb Gallery is just around the corner from you. Sweet! Yes, you're in Douglasville. I think Douglasville is where Ganold is. So, Red, if you wanted to get Stabilizer, you might could go pick it up directly from Ganold. And 9 times out of 10, because Atlanta is right there at Ganold, they'll probably be at the show as well. So, keep that in mind. And you can ask them in person if you're able to order online and go pick it up right there at the location. Carol Coleman says, I was wondering on the Hoop group, when you publish a picture, is there always a delay to see it come up, or is it just me? No, it's not just you. There is a little bit of a delay there. And I think because of the program I'm using, or the add-on program that I use for the forum. But it's not, I do pull up the pictures eventually. So, but I kind of felt like that was a trade-off for no horrible looking stuff that I didn't want to look at. Will, usually when I post stuff like that, I try to post it on both the Google Plus and the Hoop group. I try to anyways. Red says, and you're excited because I just realized that you are only 4 hours away. Oh yes, I will be headed towards Atlanta. That's a fact. So yeah, we will be coming down that way, most definitely and for sure. Marilyn Ray, you're welcome. Marianne Reddick says you bought a roll of Tearaway from Amazon. It leaves so much cotton fuzz behind in the bobbin. You're going to try Little Bee's brand next. Great prices. So keep that in mind with her roll of Tearaway. Especially if you know which seller you got it from, because there's a couple of different sellers that sell stabilizer on Amazon. I have yet to have issues out of World Widener. Me personally, I haven't had any issues out of them. Maria says I use a large basting stitch that I can pull out and also only use it for small 4x4 hooping. Bonnie T Creations, hello. How are you? How is mesh different from regular stabilizer? Okay, so mesh has like a as I showed earlier. Let me see if I have it right here still. The bell is trying to ring for itself. So the mesh has like a grid built into it, and I showed it earlier, but I don't know. Oh, here it is. I dropped it, of course. So the mesh has like a grid. Okay, the structure of it is completely different from regular stabilizer. There you go. So do you see the texture there? There's like a grid that kind of like makes it reinforced, so to speak, but allows it to be really lightweight. Okay, so supposedly the strength of this stabilizer is comparable to the strength of this stabilizer, which you see how the difference in thickness. Okay, see how this one seems to be thicker? You can barely see through it, but you can see through this one. Well, the strengths are supposed to be comparable. All right, whereas this one you can't see through it. So if you put it on the back of a white t-shirt and you embroider, you're going to see this stabilizer in the back of that white t-shirt. You know, sometimes you'll see embroidery and then you see the imprint of the stabilizer all around behind it. Well, with this, you don't have that issue. Okay, so when you use the mesh and you embroider, you can leave all this mesh back there, and that white isn't going to show through the t-shirt. And that was such a problem that they came up with this instead of using just regular cutaway stabilizer. So that's what the difference is. Vanessa, I want to know the exact size of your largest roll so I may purchase it. Sorry to keep going back to it, but I have serious dreams and issues with why they do not make it, and now I see, oh yeah, they do make it, dear. I'm not, if I'm not mistaken, they even have rolls larger than that one, and I'm trying to find my tape measure, and I remember I got extra tape measures right here. So the length of this one, which both of them are the same, this one is, I want to say 23, but what did I say? 23 and almost a half. So 23 inches is what this roll is wide. So that is the size of that roll. Red Roses, you bought the Cricut Maker Easy Press and the Juki MO623. Red Roses, am I gonna have to ring the bell all night just for your 3 machines, girl? That's a lot of ringing. I got a ring for the Juki, I got a ring for the Easy Press, and I got a ring for the Cricut Maker. Congratulations on your 3 babies. Man, you racked up. That is awesome. You're gonna have a lot of fun, ma'am. Alrighty, y'all. I'm trying to get through all of these. This isn't about stabilizer, but I've been wondering for a while now about the blind on your door. Did you make it or purchase it? Okay. When I bought this house, there was a roll shade already there, so I didn't buy it. But the white regular roll shade, I covered it with fabric. So I made that part of it, but all I did was just take some fabric glue, put it on the roll shade, some upholstery fabric, and voila. And I don't ever roll it up, so it just stays like that. Let me see. Hey Justin, how are you? Welcome. I'm running behind. Looks like a 2-hour show that was not intentional at all because I'm so ready to go to bed. Let's see. Yes, ma'am, size does matter. It really does. Let's see. I'm scrolling. I love how y'all interact with each other. That is so awesome. Why do a stabilizer tear while embroidering? Because the okay, first of all, if it's Tearaway Stabilizer, then whatever it is that you're embroidering on it is too dense for the weight of Tearaway that you're using. Okay, so anytime you're using stabilizer, it should not tear. Okay, not while embroidering on it. It shouldn't tear. The whole point is to keep everything stable. So if you're using a really thin tearaway stabilizer and what you're embroidering is tearing through it, then you need to use a heavier weight tearaway stabilizer if that's a project that calls for tearaway. Okay, so if you're using cutaway and whatever you're embroidering is tearing through that, then most definitely you need to beef up your stabilizer. Whatever you're embroidering is too dense for that cutaway stabilizer. So you're the only, even if you're using this thin WSS or wash water soluble stabilizer, even using this and embroidering on the top of it, it shouldn't be tearing while you're embroidering on it unless it's just a super dense design. This actually stays in place really well. So you shouldn't have tearing issues with your stabilizer. Man, let me see. Where can I find out about classes, support, and trade shows in California? I'm not sure. What you can do is see if you can type in Google search embroidery trade shows in California. See if you pull up any, because there's always classes generally at trade shows. The other thing I would suggest is see who your local sewing machine and vacuum dealer that has embroidery machines. See if they know of some local classes, because generally if there's a instructor in an area, they should be referring themselves to your local sewing, embroidery machine, and vacuum dealer. I know I would. If I was offering classes, I would go down there and be like, hey, here's my card. If they want classes, refer them to me. I did that when I started doing YouTube. I went to my local sewing places, and I should follow up, because it's been a while since I've been there, and be like a reminder. But if you have classes, if there are classes, they should be referring themselves to those places, because it's free advertising basically. So that's one way to see. Also, if you have a Joann's Fabrics and Crafts, see if somebody at the Viking Sewing Studio inside the Joann's has any information. That should be an option as well. Let me see. I'm getting the thread. Okay, cool, Ellis Wolf. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Bonnie T Creations, I love your channel, E. Been watching you for about 3 weeks. Thank you. I really appreciate the support. Yes. I watched almost all of your videos. Keep them coming. Thank you. I do have more videos in the works. Like I mentioned, I just recorded a video. And I want to show this so bad, y'all. Y'all just have no idea how bad I want to show this, because it is so stinking cute. It is so adorable. It's ridiculous. And I am really excited about her releasing this design for you guys to do. It's in the hoop. So it's, as a matter of fact, it's already on YouTube. It's just a private video. So you can't see it if you don't have the link, and no one has the link but her. So so keep your eyes peeled. If you're in the Designs by Little B Facebook group, it's a good possibility she'll drop a link there when she's ready. And then shortly after that, the video will be public, and it is a Designs by Little B video. So excited, super excited, super excited. Barbara Nance says you've been wanting to know about the blind spoon. Well, I am so happy to let you know how that was made. That was when I'm able to do a tour of my studio and what I call the warehouse out there. I'll let you guys see all the cute little quirks with this place. This home was built in the late 40s, early 50s, and this particular structure was built probably in the 70s, maybe 80s, maybe. It's probably older than that. And it has a lot of really neat features built into it. We found a lot of stuff that was in here, like my metal blinds and stuff like that, that are just really quirky and I absolutely love about this place. But I gotta get it remodeled first. I have a lot of work I need to get done to the structure. My roof is horrible. The shingles are crumbling, so I need to replace all of that before it rains in here and destroys my equipment. But I have covers for my equipment. So there's a lot I'm trying to get done, and then we'll be able to show you guys, because I really don't want to show you guys with the state that it's in right now, because it needs some work. But I did do a little teeny piece of a tour, in some of my older videos, and if you check those out, then you should get a glimpse of what's out here. So at any rate, it is now 9:48. Wow, I did not mean to go this long. I appreciate those who have stuck around to watch. Thank you very much. Bunny McMillan says you went to the 2 shops that offer embroidery classes and they won't teach on anything but what they sell. That is a huge problem with a lot of dealers and with a lot of sewing machine places that sell equipment. Unfortunately, that is up to the area you live in and whether or not they will offer that. That's of course not a requirement from any machine dealer. So that is part of the reason why as well, my love, that I created this channel, The Baby's Booty, so that we could teach some of that stuff and make embroidery easier. Because when you have to pay I'm not gonna say extremely high prices, but when you have to pay for classes pretty pricey, and you only have a bargain basement embroidery machine, and then they're showing on equipment you don't own, it does make it difficult. So that's the reason why we created this channel. And if you have any questions, definitely Miss Volan, or Miss Bunny McMillan, sorry, if you have any questions, please email me. Ask questions in the group, the hoop group. If you're a part of the hoop group, ask questions. We're more than happy to help you walk through the steps to make sure that you get what you need so that you can embroider successfully. And that is like the ultimate goal for this channel, is to make sure that you have happy embroidering, right? So if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments or email me or ask in the group, because there's a lot of embroidery professionals, long timers, that are in that hoop group. Vola, you're here again. I've been so busy with the holidays, but now I'm back and ready to upgrade my machine. And I do love some of your older videos also. They help me more than you know. Thank you. Thank you, Vola. And congratulations on being ready to upgrade, ma'am. That's a big step. Let us know when you do so that we can ring the bell for you as well, my ma'am, because we rang it how many times today, y'all? My goodness. So yes, that's what's up. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Barbara Nance says you have the same thing at one of the sellers in your areas. Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. I really wish there were more, but you know what? I think a lot of the problem is either, number one, the folks that do embroidery are so busy they don't have time to teach, okay? Or number two, there's not very many people left that embroider, like especially on a home personal level, so I think one of those two things are the problem now and why there aren't very many classes. Sheila Cuffey, do you know if the workshops have a cost at the ISS shows? At the ISS, I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. I know the EEM, the Everything Embroidery Mart, there is a cost. At the one in Atlanta, there's not a cost. Oh, I dropped my phone. There's not a cost at that one. So it depends. I haven't checked ISS, and then I need to find out when the next ISS class is. Um, embroidery trade show. Let's see. Decorated apparel show. Long Beach, Atlantic City, Houston, Orlando, and Fort Worth. So Long Beach is too far away for me. Atlantic City is too far. Houston, Orlando, it'll be September 5th through the 7th. Fort Worth, it'll be October the 3rd through the 5th. Houston, June 6th through the 8th. Let me look at Orlando. That's closer to me. Even though I wouldn't mind Houston either. Workshops and conferences. I don't see let's go under register. And then that way we'll know how much a ticket is too. Atlantic City in March, okay. Not register, so you can register. I don't know how much it is. It's not saying. I don't know. It's not showing prices. I guess you have to register first in order to find out what the prices are. So, but if you type in ISS Embroidery Trade Show, it pulls it up to go ahead and register. Hey, Debbie Kid, how are you? Barbara Nance says, my husband purchased an external hard drive for backup of designs for your birthday. Thank you for that information. You're welcome. Please, 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 please. Oh my gosh, you reminded me. I saw somebody today on Facebook that backed up their designs and was taking them off of her computer and putting them on her hard drive. Do not delete the files off of your computer until you confirm and double check and make sure that the designs that have been transferred or put on the hard drive work. She hit delete or she cut those files to put on the hard drive and it did not work. She lost her files. So when I'm talking about backing up, I wasn't saying take stuff off of the computer. And as far as I know, this isn't someone that watched this show, but I was mainly saying whatever files you have on your computer, keep them on the computer, but back them up. If you want to take them off of your computer to free up space, that's fine. That's actually not a bad idea. But please be sure that the files are backed up on the hard drive properly. The files are there. You can access them. You can see them. You know all of your files are there before you start hitting that delete button. Oh my God. My heart sunk when she posted that today. So I actually back up, and I think somebody mentioned that too, Google Drive or Dropbox or something like that. I back up to that as well. I back up to a physical hard drive as well. I also keep my emails. I back up my zip files as well. I have all of these in separate locations, but all on the same location. Okay, so I have backups of my backups of my backups because my embroidery files are that important to me, and my family pictures as well. So it's really important to make sure that you do things properly before you start deleting stuff. Okay, so please don't delete until you know that stuff is there. But you're welcome, Barbara Nance. I'm glad that your stuff was saved. Cindy Bunskowski says, thank you, Eve. This has been very helpful, even if long. I've learned a lot tonight. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad. Thank you, Cheryl Roof. I really appreciate that as well. Pearl Lucas, hi, welcome. Thank you. I don't remember seeing your name. Thank you for such valuable information. You're welcome. Cheryl Roof had to reference your patch making video today. Lifesaver. I am glad to have been a lifesaver, especially when it comes to patches, because they're not that hard. They're not that hard. They can take forever, but they're not that hard to do. Let us see. Maria says, thank you, E, for an information-packed evening. God bless you. Thank you. And have a great week. Post the information about the embroidery shows if you can. I would love to go. I will. Sheila Cuffy. I look forward to seeing you. I don't know when the next one. I don't know about New Jersey. We'll see about that. Bunny McMillan, thank you. I really do appreciate you in your videos. Please keep it up for all us newbies and those eager to learn from those who love to share. You're welcome. And my doggy is having a fit out there. I hope that's not bothering y'all. You're welcome as well, Barbara Nance and Miss Patricia. Thank you very much. Gail Kingsbury, thank you. And yes, Will, Dropbox is awesome. And yes, Miss Beckham, I just thinking about her losing that stuff was making me sick. It really was, because I was like, oh my God, that poor baby. And she was like, fortunately, she hadn't deleted her emails with the download links. Otherwise, she would have lost everything. Okay, so that's why I'm saying keep those emails, keep those zip files, keep your embroidery files, keep the originals. Okay, whenever you edit them, save them as something different, rename them, but keep your originals, because I'm trying to tell y'all, when certain companies go out of business and they close the doors or shut that site down, you're stuck if you lose your stuff, and you cannot get it back from them because they're closed. How are you gonna find them? So please back up your stuff, people. That's like uber important. It really is. So, but thank you guys. It is going on 10 o'clock. I am worn slap out. And hopefully I'm not as sick as I feel like I might be. If I get sick, y'all, I'm gonna be so sad. But I'm looking forward to the next live already. Thank you so very much for joining us this evening. As always, we thoroughly appreciate you joining us here live with your questions and with your comments. If you don't mind, please hit that thumbs up button for me. It lets YouTube know we're doing a great job and they continue to promote our videos. Also, subscribe. We are here live on Sundays 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we also often do tutorials on Suede Pro, as well as in the hoop designs and many other tutorials for embroidery and vinyl sometimes. So that's a lot of fun, and we're considering doing rhinestones too. Don't tell nobody. So I look forward to next Sunday. I love having you all here. And until the next time I see you, please have happy embroidering. And you guys have an excellent night as well. Bye. I'm going to bed.